What's up, everybody? Jeff here with Chasing Fall, and today we're going to go over a hunt for a deer that we named Corey. It was 3 years in the making, and on December 4th of 2016 I was able to harvest this buck with my bow. So to get started, back in 2014 I moved to Iowa, and this deer showed up on my family farm. We had a very, very big 8-pointer that had this drop tine coming down that kind of stole the show that year, but this deer showed up, and he had this antler here, and he had a bunch of funky stuff going on the other side. So at that point we thought the deer was 2 or 3. He was just a cool deer. Didn't see just a ton out of him, a little bit of rut action or whatever. And then fast forward to late season, and I come back home to hunt, and I had an encounter with this guy. I set up in a ground blind, and he popped out about 100 yards up and fed away on some beans, and he completely broken this side off and just had this side. Alright, so then that 2014 deer season closes out, and we fast forward into March into shed season, and my wife finds his left side from 2014 about probably 800 yards from where we had seen him. So some stuff's kind of starting to come together. The 2015 season, we get a few velvet pictures of him, then he falls off radar. In November, I seen him right after shooting light for just a split second. As I was waiting on some deer to clear the field, he walks through the corner of the food plot and disappears, and then shows up again late season. But he was broken up and not a legal buck in Missouri, since he has to have 4 points on one side at least. So I passed him with the muzzleloader. Fast forward into the 2016 season, and I get a picture of him not very far from where I know he's living, from all the history that we've built. So I go in, I set a ground blind specifically for him, thinking that I'm going to kill him late season. So we go into late season, and it's in December, December 4th actually. I go in specifically to hunt this deer from that ground blind, and my dad calls me, and he tells me that he's going to go doe hunting, since it's the Missouri doe season as well. So I opt to back up the field about 100 yards, 80 to 100 yards. We have a deer stand up there. The wind was right for it as well. So to accommodate him, I backed up. And thank goodness I did, because this buck comes walking out the same trail I'd seen him on in 2014, and he followed 3 small bucks out and offered me a 42-yard broadside shot, which I took. I got the deer and was super thankful. He was just an absolutely huge body. He was blind in one eye. He had broken a few things up or whatever, but I couldn't be more ecstatic. He was at least 5.5, if not 6.5, and I was beyond excited. So as I started to do this European mount myself, I get him open, and he's got a broken pedicle right here. His line that normally joins his skull is off to the side, and he's got like an extra little antler starting to grow here, which was colored until I bleached the skull. And then his jaw was broken in 3 different places. So when I boiled his skull, his jaw fell into 4 different pieces. So I assume that's what's causing this deer to grow so funky, but I don't know. He makes a very cool skull mount, and just had all kinds of stuff going on. So then we fast forward into February of this year, February 2017, and I'm shed hunting, and about half to 3/4 of a mile from where I shot the buck, I found his shed from the previous year, and the bases on all of his sheds line up. The pedicles are super weird. So I've got his 2014, 2015, and 2016. It's unfortunate it was all chewed up, but nonetheless I found it. As soon as I picked it up, I knew exactly what deer it was. So yeah, that's the story of Corey. He's a super cool deer. I'm super fortunate, and we're still eating a little bit of the deer meat. We're just about out of it. So awesome buck and awesome hunt, and I love to just build the history with these bucks. Hopefully I can put another story together for you guys this year. Got a few bucks in the works, but Nothing that's showing in daylight just yet. So follow along, and I will see you again here next week.